Oh, there is really a countdown, actually. Oh my God.
Okay, so I see people entering. So welcome everyone to the last session of today. And before introducing Shama, I would like to just remind you that please use the Q&A section to direct the questions to her, and then we will be answering them at the end of the session. So now I would like to introduce Shama. It's my pleasure to be hosting her today online. Shama spent her undergrad studies between Casablanca, Padova, and Leicester, and recently she obtained her PhD at the International Max Planck Research School for Molecular Biology in Göttingen. Her research focused on the development of probes for super resolution microscopy under the supervision of Dr. Opasso and Professor Risoli. And Shama, she always had a strong interest in the fight against scientific misinformation. And as such, she took part in the founding of authentisci, which is a browser extension that allows scientists to provide feedback on the validity of online science-related news. So without further ado, I would like to welcome once more Shama to our virtual stage to tell us more about this nice initiative.
Thank you very much, Julio, for this nice introduction. So, hello, everyone. Today, I will not talk to you about a possible career that you might be doing after your PhD, an alternative career. I will talk to you about something that you can do already now as a PhD student, as a postdoc, as a scientist, to help science being spread to society in a correct manner and to avoid scientific misinformation and fake science news. I'm going to talk to you about a tool that we created that we named Authentisci, and that will help you actually to stop scientific misinformation in a fast, easy way without too much effort. So here you can see, are the slides changing? Yes. So I'm sure you can all relate to this figure here. So this is a fictional Facebook post where potentially your fictional Aunt Mary is sharing an article that she read about the fact that chickens can spread COVID to humans. And she's even commenting on it, that she's saying that eating chicken might be dangerous. And this is something that happens every day, all the time. People are sharing news that might have some scientific base or not, but that are constantly misinterpreted by journalists and then by people sharing them. And science, fake news, and scientific misinformation, you might know and you might be aware, of course, that it delays in our society our approach to current global problems, let's say vaccination, coronavirus, and so on. So where does this problem come from? So the standard scientific communication flow is, you probably know, is that the scientist makes the research, and then he or she publish their research, and journalists write about it. And then this is the way that it is actually conveyed to society, to the standard reader, is through the journalism. And this is the critical point where many things can happen wrong. So it can be that the journalist, for example, misinterpreted some facts, that couldn't understand properly the conclusion of the scientific research, or maybe also this was done on purpose to create some emotional polarization, to create more audience at the expense of the scientific valid information. Or even in the worst case scenario, this journalist could also write about something that has no scientific base, so that will be generate some fake news. So this is the step where we actually want to intervene. So we created this platform called Authentisci to actually intervene at that step, to give a voice to scientists on the and give a scientific validation on the articles that are available and shared online. So how does this work? So we have a website that is called authentisci.com, and as a scientist, so you directly, the people attending here today, if you stumble upon an article that you think that might be completely wrongly interpreted scientifically, or that has no scientific basis, you can actually rate it and give a score on it. So how you do that? You go on our website, and then you need to access the rating part of the website. You need to have an ORCID account, which usually scientists always have. And or you can always create one as soon as you have a university email address. And from there, basically you get access to a rating form. So you just copy and paste the link of the articles you're interested to rate, and then you have access to 6 different questions that are about the sources, if the sources exist, if they are correctly cited, if the message has been misinterpreted, is it clear, are there some competing interests, and so on. So, and then there is an automatic score that is generated according to the answer of these questions. You can also directly, if you don't want to answer all those questions, you can directly rate the article, giving him a score directly. Then this score will be averaged according to all the feedback that the scientist gave. And from the reader point of view, basically, what they can do is that they can install a browser extension always from our website. It can also be installed, and basically when they will access that article that was scored, they will have this overview that you can see here in the slide. So basically it gives an average score, and then it gives also some details on the score that is of course translated into simple terms such as sources, bias, and clarity. And if the article they are reading hasn't been scored yet, they can always ask for a rating, and this in the future will be displayed on our website so that scientists are encouraged to rate that particular article. So what you can do now, I'm actually we are trying to reach as many scientists as we can, because you are the one that can actually make this action of informing the public, and by rating the scientific validity of the articles that you can find online. So you can already go on our website, authentisci.com. You can rate articles. If you have already articles in mind that are completely wrong, or on the contrary, that were really well relying the scientific information, you can score them. You can encourage your friend and your family to download the extension. And you can also share. You can share our website and talk about it as much as possible if you think that that's a good idea that might actually help science to come across to society in an easy manner. And you can also follow us on Twitter, and you can also send us your feedback. So we will benefit a lot from your feedback, because since it is a new tool that we just created, we would love to hear from you if you experience problem, if you think that it can be improved in other ways. So please just let us know. So actually this tool was developed by me and other 7 scientists from all around the world. So we are all full-time scientists. Authentisci is not our job. It's just something that we are doing on the side to actually fight scientific misinformation, because we strongly believe that it's our role as scientists to help to educate the readers on how to assess the interpretation of science by the media. And you can all do it. You all have the expertise to do that. You're able to read an article, to understand it. Is it especially in your field? So what you can do as well is to put, for example, some Google notification with some keyword on your area of expertise. And then Google will notify you every time that an article is written about your topic. And there you can control, is it correctly reported to the public or not? And then you can rate it through the Authentisci website. So thank you very much. I'll be happy to take some of your questions. You can also follow me on Twitter. My personal Twitter is there, or add me on LinkedIn as well. And you can follow the Authentisci on Twitter as well. And I'm happy to take your questions.
All right. Thank you very much, Shama. So we have a couple of questions in the Q&A section. So the first one would be from Maya, and she's asking, what about submitting comments to the articles? A rating is not much on its own if you don't talk about the specifics.
Yes, of course. So you're definitely right. So what we have in mind at the moment is something that is fast. So basically you can answer those questions that will actually, so the question, if you go on our website, you can see the question are kind of specific towards the source bias, the misinterpretation, and these get then translated. Of course, as a reader, if you want to have more details about why is it why it has been rated so low or why it has been rated so high. You can see it from what I show you, that basically you have some categories, clarity and bias and so on. But of course, in the future, this is actually something that we would love to implement, to actually have some comments, start some discussions, maybe bring in some expert on that particular articles. This is definitely something that we would like to implement in the extension in the future.
Great, thank you. The next question is actually from me. Does the authenticci team validate or like review the validation of these scientists that rate this fake news?
So for the moment, we do not review it, because also what we had in mind was to have a sort of crowdsources platform, so that basically there is some initiatives already online of people that are actually looking at information online and checking for the fake news or for the misinterpretation. But this is a really heavy work, and it requires a lot of manpower. So what we had in mind was something that was more crowdsourced and with following the idea of Wikipedia, let's say, so that people contribute and then other people can maybe open a dispute, I think it's called, on Wikipedia. So let's say, for example, if one article has been rated extremely low, but it's actually extremely well relayed to the public, then one scientist could actually open a dispute, and then we could actually mediate the dispute, let's say. But this is something that is still not implemented. So, yes.
I see. Following up on the previous question, Maya just said that this is not specific enough on her opinion. For example, maybe there is one single point in the article that does not source properly.
Yes, that's definitely a good point, and let's hope that probably by implementing the comments that can maybe be solved. Yes, but thank you very much. We will keep this in mind also for those questions. It's really good that you raised those problems so that we can actually work on as well. So I will also just take the occasion to say, so I mentioned that we are all full-time worker scientists, so we have limited amount of time that we can actually put in authenticci. And at the moment, if any of you that is listening is an expert or has a lot of experience in HTML and Java, please contact us, because we would really benefit from a front web developer to help us.
Mm-hmm. We have more questions. We have one question from Sarada, who is asking if the feedback is anonymous.
Yes, the feedback is anonymous. So basically, you need an ORCID account to actually access to the rating form, but we do not store the information of the rater, because we also don't know how we would handle data privacy and so on. So that's a bit tricky. For the moment, it's completely anonymous. Yes.
Okay. And Anthony is asking when will the extension be available for other browsers?
Yeah. So at the moment it's available for Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge, which for who does not know what it is, I also didn't know. It's the new Internet Explorer. So it's available also for Microsoft Edge, and we are basically planning in the next 2 weeks to make it available for Firefox as well.
Great. So maybe as a last question, because there was someone that joined midway, and she's asking how can someone start contributing to the review? So maybe you can just
Yeah, sure, of course. So basically, to contribute to the review, you just need to go on our website, authentisci.com, click on rate an article, and you can copy paste the link of the article that you want to rate. If you have no articles in mind at the moment, you can browse online in your area of expertise, or you can also ask Google to notify you every time that something is published on the web that has certain keywords that are from your expertise, for example. But if you have any articles in mind, just start rating them. Or let's say if you stumble upon an article that you know a friend or a colleague that actually would know if this is correctly interpreted or not, you can also start sending to them and make them rate it through the platform.
Okay, so with this, I would like to thank you once more, Shama, for being here
Thank
with us
you.
today. It's a really great initiative, and we should all be fighting scientific misinformation.
Thank you very much, Pauline.
Um, okay, so as a last remark, I would like to announce or remind you that tomorrow we will have Spencer Wells at 12:15. We had to reschedule because there was a technical issue from his side, and yeah, I think that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. in the opening ceremony for the Academia Talks, and I hope you're all enjoying the conference very much. So thank you all, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.